Hey there, guys. We've got a new special kind of like crafting trial on the JP server. So, real quick, I'll show you what it is and then we will start working on it. So, in the vortex, or not the vortex, the far plane, they have finally expanded the far plane in the JP server. So, in the far plane, we can now loop around, and if you remember, this eastern area used to be sealed off. It is now open, and this is actually the wrong one. We're not going into that one. We're going to this one right here. This building is I'm not sure what the proper name is, but the building with Madeen in it. And Madeen is a new trial. Now, it's a special kind of trial. So first of all, the easy version, of course, easy. Kill it in like 1 or 2 turns, no big deal. But the hard mode, you have to kill his hard mode version with 8 different elemental teams. Now, the regular missions are like 15 turns or less, no KOs, etc., etc. For the base, I don't know what it's called, the Esper necklace. And then you get all the recipes from this. But to get the crafting materials for the final version, you have to beat this trial, and I'll show you the special missions in a minute. You've got to beat this trial with 8 different elemental parties. And the base form of your units is what matters, the tag. So for example, as I'm told, Cecil, even though like Cecil is light element in the shift form, that won't count. It'll only count your base form elemental tag. So we're going to start with fire, and then in different videos I'll work my way through the other elements, because depending on the element, my options are very bad. Thankfully, fire is going to be a very, very easy clear. The boss is a beast. We're using Flaring Rain. We've got a very powerful fire support team with Vaughn, Lena, Dark Lineage, Fina, and Ash for our tank. So the fire clear is going to be completely a joke. No problem. On the other hand, when I get to things like the wind party, my personal options for wind, oh, they're real bad. And we're probably going to use a cheesy trick to really cheese this trial. But we don't need to for the fire teams. Let's get in here and do the fire version of the fight. Then I'll show you the missions, the crafting, etc. Okay, so to start off, Madeen will go immune to everything, and he'll say, like, show me your best element. Depending on the elemental damage you deal at the beginning of the fight will change to a different version of the fight. There's 8 different versions of the fight. We're obviously going to go with the fire version for this. So let's go ahead and imbue our party with fire with Fina. Do a resist buff and a immunity buff. So now that we're imbued with fire, we can just deal fire damage. So here we go. And now the boss is going to start the fight over in his fire form. Well, the fight won't start over, but he'll kill himself and revive as his fire version, and he'll summon stuff, etc., etc. So we can just buff with Ash, do whatever. Debuffs don't really matter because the boss is going to, let's do this, because the boss is going to start the fight over anyway, or kill himself and come back as a new form. So here we go. Now we're in fire mode. Okay, so like I said, because we're using a very, very good team for this fight, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to kill him on turn 5. We also want to kill the little minion that he summoned, the fire minion. Now, overall, as long as you've got a good magic tank with really high resistances across the board, as we do, the fight's fairly simple. So we're going to just use, let's see, what are we going to do here? We're going to start dealing damage on turn 3. So we're going to shift our reins, and on this turn we will go ahead and just do undermine. Let's do a big beast killer because the boss is a beast, and then honestly doesn't matter, and we'll target this one up here. Friend will shift because the boss does have turns of basically damage immunity. Let's go ahead and not that. Let's beast killer, let's undermine, and kind of whatever. Wait for this to finish. All right, let's do it on this as well. Let's have Vaughn mirage the party, and let's do just some. Actually, let's have Vaughn. Doesn't really matter, honestly. Yeah, we're mostly just setting up for a few turns. We're also trying to get Fina's LB gauge because I'm too cheap to pot it all the way. Let's go ahead and We're going to burst next turn. I actually don't want to do a big amplify. So we're just going to, like, imbue the party. We're honestly just, like, hanging out for the moment with Fina. And we'll use Ash to put up some mitigations. And we do have Lena's Field now, so we'll do Lena's Field. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have done Lena's Field yet because I don't want to deal too much damage. I want to keep the boss above 50% health until we're going to, like, burst him below. And the boss is relatively squishy. The little crystal thing is the squishier or the bulkier of the enemies. And we don't want to kill the crystal before the boss because, as I'm told, he gets kind of angry. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to... Let's do that. I don't want to do Beast Killer yet. So we're going to just do immunity. And we'll do this. Okay, let's deal some damage here. That's fine. Okay, I was actually... Oh, yeah, 60%. Yeah, so I didn't want to do too much damage there. So now let's go ahead and use Vaughn's LB to do a better break for later. And the next turn, the boss will have a lot of mitigation. Honestly speaking, Lena, you're done. You can guard the rest of the fight. And Ash, we can just cover. Let's put up some better breaks on this little guy down here. Some better attack and magic breaks. And the cool little UI is so awesome. You see the little UI, the breaks, you can see who you target. But anyway, as I said, with a strong tank, you're fine. Doesn't really matter what you're doing. So now the boss has mitigation this turn. And we're gonna kill next turn. So we're gonna go ahead and use this, and we're gonna do 150 amplify. So 150 amp, and this. Let's see. Vaughn will go ahead and do his Magnus. Let's mirage the party and do this on the big guy. Let's have Fina do Beast Killer on mine. We can do an AoE Beast Killer. And we're running low on mana. Uh-oh. We'll do this. I should have given her some mana reduction. And honestly, you can do this. Doesn't that fill mana? I don't know. And then Ash, doesn't really matter. We can just guard. Because we're going to kill next turn. You know, the fire version is going to be incredibly easy because Flaring Rain. It's going to be much harder to do when you don't have a proper leader and all that. So now we can use Vaughn's SLB. And we're going to target the crystal because it is slightly bulkier. Fina, we're good to go at this point. We can just LB, and this should be the end of the enemies with a powered up 150 amplified. Oh, yeah. So there it is. So as you can see, this overall is not super hard if your team is powerful. So here's our Ash, just resist across the board, etc. The boss does do stop as well, so you need stop immunity if you're not using someone to buff it, but thankfully our Dark Lineage Fina does buff it. She's passive provoking with evasion, the gears, whatever. Lena, just here for the field, gears, whatever. Vaughn, just here for the breaking, gears, whatever. And all of these have the fire tag. That's the most important thing. Our Flaring Rain, 15.8 attack power, you know, no Clash of Wills gear on the JP server, and max on everything. And then the friend is basically max on everything. So the fire version, probably the easiest of all because Flaring Rain is just, you know, he's at 300 Beast Killer just by default. Super, super easy. He's AoE, which is also a really big deal, being AoE for the attacking. And by the way, if we didn't kill the boss that turn, he would have started dispelling us and using fixed attacks that bypass cover and all. So it's a lot easier if you can get a nice clear in quickly. And there we go. Also, units that are one hit are going to be kind of a problem here. At the top of the screen, you see that little mission complete. So we also did the first of the elemental missions. We now have the fire mission complete. So now we got to do that again with ice, lightning, water, wind, earth, dark, etc. So let's go ahead and pop over here to the mail. We'll claim that, and I'll show you the special missions as well. All right, got all the recipes and the base form of the necklace. And let's go to the special missions. The mission UI has been updated in JP. It's kind of awesome, actually. So we've got daily missions, weekly missions, and monthly missions on the first tab. The second tab is event missions, and yes, I did skip some missions for events. And then the final tab is special permanent missions, like you know, the fragments for Sheraton, etc. But here is, nope, that's not it. Let's go back out here. All right, here is the special mission. So the one mission is to be easy mode, and then there's a crystal for every element. We just did the fire clear. So we got to get all 8 crystals to get the final version of the necklace. So we got to beat it again within a full elemental team of all of the elements. And that gives us this necklace. Let's go to the upgrades. And I can probably go... Here it is. So let's go ahead, and it takes 1 to go to level 2, or 1. And then we need to get more crystals. Yeah, we got to get 3 more clears to get level 2, and then we're going to need to get the 4 final clears to get level 3. And for those asking, what is this necklace? It is, this is only level 1, but it gives 50 LB damage, 50 Esper stats, and 50 Evo magic, Evo damage, not Esper stats. So LB damage, Evo damage, and Evo magic. And it gives, I think, 75 magic and spirit at max level. So basically just a really good Esper necklace. And overall, I think, honestly speaking, the Neovision's Daggers STMR is actually kind of better in general. So it's really not even that big a deal. It's more just for something to do. And as we just saw, it's not super hard. But what is going to be hard is I will show you, for example, my personal Neovision's like wind units. Like, it's going to be hard for me to do a wind team, and I think my earth team isn't much better. So we're going to have to struggle a little bit on some of these elements. But there is a cheese way to do it by getting the boss broken by 100%, and then you can basically OTK him. And I'll be showing that in a different video for the cheese method. Okay, see you in a bit.